I'm going to talk on all this and how you can come to Canada as a business owner from Nigeria, from US, from UK, and anywhere in the world. So this is one of the best program, which is a federal program that can allow you to migrate to Canada as a business owner to come and invest in Canada. So generally, I'm going to be talking about the requirements. So we talk about the requirements, then I'll now share the 4 steps involved in the process. So that is how the topic for today is going to be going. And I will touch briefly on investing through the province as well. So I'm going to use 2 provinces as reference,
Okay.
Which is Manitoba and Ontario. So generally or typically, it's the same process for all the investment routes across the province.
Okay.
Yes. So as an owner-operator process, to come to Canada as a business owner, you want to invest in Canada. So what are the criteria that you must fulfill? So the first thing is that back in your country, you must be a business owner or belong to senior executive management of where you work currently.
Okay.
So that is very critical. So the first condition is that either you are a business owner back in your country or you belong to senior executive management position where you work. So that is number 1 requirement. Then the second major requirement is that you are coming into Canada with the intention to have minimum of 51% ownership in that business you'll be creating in Canada. So it simply means you must have 51% share ownership in that business you are creating in Canada. So that is number 2. Then, reason you are coming as an investor, you must show to the government of Canada that you can create job for Canadians or permanent residents. So your intention as an investor is to create jobs in Canada. So it's very, and that's why you're an investor. So the third part of it is that because this is a federal program, so you can reside anywhere in Canada. You can do the business anywhere in Canada. You are not limited to the province where you can do the business. So that's another advantage under the owners operator LMIA program.
So you can choose to set up your business anywhere.
Anywhere except Quebec.
Except Quebec. Okay.
Except Quebec. So any other place you can set up your business there. So for this program, it is important that you should show investment commitment of 250,000 Canadian dollars.
Okay.
So commitment investment of 250,000 Canadian
dollars.
So, and the beautiful thing about the program is that no net worth is required. No net worth is required. In addition to, you don't need to prove no source of fund is required. The source of the fund is not a requirement compared to other program I'm going to be sharing under the province. So no net worth requirements and no source of fund requirement. So that is beautiful thing about the program. So also, because you are coming into Canada as a business owner.
Sorry to interrupt you. So that money, the 250K, are you supposed to bring it into Canada as, like, are you supposed to, like, how does the money thing work? Are you supposed to, like, transfer the money here? Who do you transfer to? Is it the government? Considering the fact that you've probably, you don't live here, you don't have an account here, or how does it work?
Okay, that's part of the levels that earlier I explained that we're going to be looking into.
Okay. Keep going then. Keep going.
How you set up everything in Canada, that is part of what I'm going to be discussing thereafter. I'm just giving the general requirements for the program.
Okay, cool.
So, then, because you are coming to Canada as a business owner or as a senior executive or management person, your occupational NOC code is 00. Is 00 because that is for senior management.
Okay.
Or you're a business owner from where you're coming from. And because of that, when you set up the business in Canada, we must be able to justify that you wage for that position. So you need to earn the wage that is attributed to that position. For example, median wage differs across the province. So if you are, for example, you are coming to Ontario now, if the median wage says $70 per hour, I'm just assuming, I'm not saying $70 per hour.
Yeah, if.
So when we are putting in your document to Government of Canada, we must be able to show to Government of Canada that that business you set up in Canada can pay you $70 per hour. So that simply means that we are following the median wage for your occupation. So, and simply means that has to be in a form of salary. You should be getting that in a form of salary. So also, we need to find what is called LMIA for you with Employment Service Development Canada. So that's ESDC. So we need to file a document to them to show that you can get a labor market impact assessment that is positive.
That is what? Did you say positive? Okay.
Positive. What do I mean by being positive? Because typically when you want to come to Canada to create a job or to work in Canada, your work related could have LMIA attached to it or not attached to it. But in this situation, because you are coming in to start a business in Canada, so you are coming in based on work permit. So because you are coming in based on work permit, we need to get you a positive LMIA from Service Canada. Because that is what will now allow us to be able to put in your papers at Canadian High Commission Overseas for a work permit. So I'm going to talk more about the process as we go along. So before we can file in your paper for you, you must commit that fund, part of that fund, showing to government that, okay, Mr. X has committed a fund out of that $250,000 investment. He has committed over 60 to 65% of that fund, showing that he is ready. And that's what will make the government to see that you are a genuine investor.
Okay.
So before we put in your LMIA, it simply means your fund for investment must be ready. Must be ready. So, then in addition to that, the beautiful thing about this program is that the moment you get to Canada, you set up your business, you have the pathway to go into your PR as soon as possible. Because you are coming in as a NOC 00, which is either a business owner or a senior executive. So that will earn you 200 points. And once you have your 200 points,
so you earn you 200 points in the pool.
In the pool, yes, exactly. So basically, once you get to Canada, we will create an express entry profile for you. And I'm going to be honest with you, people in this range, their comprehensive ranking score is usually about 300, about 290. So for them to be able to get their PR quickly, or set them in the process of PR, so we need to get a positive sign that, one, they can meet the minimum requirements to go into the express entry pool. And once they are in the express entry pool, because they are in Canada under NOC 00, so automatically
He's hanging. Oh my God. Kiese, wait. It's hanging. Just wait. Kiese, wait. Okay, go. It was hanging, so I couldn't hear you.
Okay, so let me just go back. Now, once you meet all these requirements, the next process is for us. As soon as you're in Canada, you start your business. It's for us to see how you can get your PR. And the process of getting your PR is that we need to check that you meet the minimum entry requirements as a skilled worker. Pool. Because you are in the pool, your score is very low. Your score is typically around 300, 310, 290. We need to bring that up, shoot that up. So one way of getting that to the required point is because you are in Canada as business owner and your skill level is 0-0. So that earns you 200 points because your work permit is LMI based. So that 200 points will be migrated into your profile under the express entry. So it simply means you are now above 490, 500 range. So once there is a drop, you will automatically have the selection. You get your high TA, that's invitation to apply, then you are on roller coaster to your PR. Yes. So you're on roller coaster to your PR. Okay, go ahead.
Excuse me, Mr. KS, I have one question. And I know that this question will be on a lot of people's minds. Okay, so I like how you explained everything. It seems very straightforward, and I also like your honesty because there's so many people who say they are immigration consultants and they're not. And then they deceive people and they make them pay part with money, and they tell them, oh, you can get PR, you can get your permanent residency, and just by being a business owner in Canada. I've seen people where this has happened to. And a lot of people don't want to write the IELTS exam, the IELTS. So what you're saying is, because of course for you to have a CRS score, it means that you have put in your IELTS scores inside. So does it mean that even if you're coming as a business owner, you have to write the IELTS exam? Because some people believe that if they're coming in as business owners, they don't need to write the exams. So please, can you also shed more light on that, so that people are not confused and they know the truth? Because there are all kinds of people lying to people and saying, oh, you're coming with your money, you're bringing your money, you don't need to write any exams. So please just quickly clarify that. I know that the band they don't have to get like really high scores, but please, I want you to just clarify that bit. Thanks.
Okay. If you are coming to Canada as an entrepreneur, as an investor, the requirement attached is you need to have your English test done. The language test is mandatory. So under the owner's operator process, you need to have minimum of CLB 7, which is 6 in all modules. That's speaking 6, writing 6, listening 6, and reading 6. So if you are coming as owner operator, you must pass your English test, or French as the case may be. Anyone who are comfortable writing. So English test is mandatory. Initially, when you are coming, you don't need that English test when you want to come in. But the moment you want to apply for your PR, you need to have your English test done. You must have it. Else, you can't become a PR. You just be on work permit. And the essence of you coming in as an investor is to be able to handle permanent residency in Canada. So the way to that permanent residency is to write your English test. And the minimum is CLB 7. 6 across modules.
6.
Yes, across the modules. So also,
thanks.
You also need to assess your educational credentials, because you can't go into the express entry pool without assessing your educational credentials. So, like for the case of the province, you must get all this before you even start at all.
Wow.
For province, you must get all this before you start at all. But for owners operator, because we don't want you to bring in so much money in, and at the end of the day, you can't get your PR, or that's permanent residency in Canada. So we always advise, before you leave your country, write your English test, get your credential access. Then we know that once you come, you face your business, you start running the business, then we now put you in because you have all the requirements to apply for your permanent residency in Canada. So simply means that you need your educational credentials assessment through West or any other body, and you also need your English language test. So as I've mentioned earlier, you can live anywhere in Canada, run the business anywhere in Canada. And note one thing, don't say because you are coming with your money as an investor, you want to be a passive investor. You must be an active investor. It simply means you must be on ground in Canada to run your business.
So you can't be shuttling. You can't say, oh, well, let me just drop my wife and children here and go.
No, you have to be around it because imagine you are a 51% ownership. So you have to see that the business is running very well. You have to be there. So it can't be shuttling. By the time you have your PR, then you can be shuttling. And as I've mentioned, the process of PR is very, very fast. Doesn't take a long time. Once you can create
Hanging. Hanging. Can you hear me? Oh my God.
okay, so we are back.
We're not. Okay, I think we're back now.
Hello.
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
Okay, so once you get to Canada as a business under the business owner operator, you start running your business, then we set you up to get your permanent residency. It's just take basically less than 12 months if all things being fine. But with COVID now, that might change. The process is changing every day. But normally, the process is usually within 12 months of arrival. So less than 12 months of arrival, you get your PR. Once you have your PR, then if you want to be traveling up and down, it's up to you. You can always travel up and down. But while you are still on work permit, it's better you're an active investor, because this is part of what we're going to be showing to government, that you are actually active running the business. So, and there's simply no obligation after, no more obligation once you have your PR.
Okay,
So
perfect.
I'm going to quickly discuss. Yeah. Do you have any question before I go ahead and discuss the 4 levels involved in the process?
Well, there are some questions in the comment section that I would like us to quickly address, because
Let's quickly take them.
yeah, I don't want us to miss them. You know what happened the last time where the thing went off. Okay, so I have someone says, what is the age limit? Donatella says, what is the age limit? Is there an age limit?
For owners, operator, LMI, there's no age limit.
Okay.
The only thing that can limit you from getting your PR is if you don't make the minimum entry requirement of 67 out of 100. So once you make your 67 out of 100, then you get your permanent residency in place. So no age limit.
Okay. There's another question from Oludola O, says, who owns the remaining 49% of the business?
Okay, because the way this runs, typically, you are going into franchise. You are franchising. So simply means you have other owners that's going to be part of your business. So they have the shareholding aspect as well. So that is it. Because the business, you are investing into your existing business, because you are not starting yours from scratch.
So it's like coming to invest in like Tim Hortons or something here.
Exactly. You are correct.
Okay.
You are correct. Well, I think one person just sent to me now, because what we normally do is that you come up with your own idea of what you want to do, and we send you the link to some of the businesses that are looking for investors across Canada. So you decide, you pick one, then as soon as you're ready, then we start the process with you. So, yeah, any other questions?
Yes, Aderonke Ige says, please, can you give some business ideas that one can do in Canada?
Okay, I've just mentioned that we'll be sending to you, by the time you book a consultation with us, we'll send the link to you. We have tons of franchise, particularly in Ontario. Ontario province has a lot of franchise. So you go in there, you pick anyone you like, you send that back to us, then we start discussing with the business owner.
Okay.
So a typical example, if she's looking for a business she can invest in, it's for example, let me use the homes, that's elderly people's homes, for example. In the homes, there is different processes in the homes. For example, cleaning of the home is run by another establishment. Like cooking for them is run by different departments. So it's like subdivision in the homes. Different company care for those things. So, for example, you can go into that if you are the type that want to invest in homes, elderly homes. So you can invest in that. And also, there's also some business, food business.
You're saying too much. You're saying too much. Let them book consultation. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
So we have Fury. Fury is my girl Maddie. Hey Maddie. That's my girl from secondary school. Oh, let me from high school. Hey Maddie. Maddie says, do students going into Canada on work visas have to take the language exam?
But coincidentally, we're discussing about investor, but I'm just going to quickly give an answer.
Please. Thanks.
Language test is subject to the school or the institution you want to go to or the program you want to undertake. So it is not all schools that demand your language test. It's not all schools. So it depends on your program and it depends on the school. So you need to check the requirement for the school.
And it's not the same, and that's not the same language test that people who
Exactly.
are trying to get PRs take. So that means if it's for school, it has to be the education one, right?
Academics.
The academic one.
Academics.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
okay. So, sorry, let me just try to take like two more.
Somebody mentioned is 250 the minimum investment?
Yes, is the minimum 250K then minimum amount of money to invest? So that two in one, same practically the same question.
Okay. Reason why we go for 250 is because based on our research and based on the way we work, we felt that at 250 is what can earn you labor market impact assessment quickly. So if your investment is very low, chances of getting approval for your labor market impact assessment is also low. So it's like we've benchmarked it and we found out that if you are investing minimum of 250, approval is very easy. So that's the reason we are making the assumption that minimum of 250 is what makes sense.
Thank you, KSA. Donatella says Naira. No. Okay, so then she says 250K Canadian dollars. Yes, it is 250,000 Canadian dollars. If it was 250K Naira, everybody in Nigeria will be here right now. Trust me. Everybody, even people that don't have the 250K, will get one auntie or uncle to sponsor them. So it's CAD, Canadian dollars. Okay. Yeah, so that's all for now in terms of questions.
Okay.
So we'll take more questions later. Yeah, but KSA, you can proceed. You can continue.
Okay, so now what are the levels involved in owners operator LMIA procedure? So the first thing is that you need to come to Canada as the visitor to see the business. So it simply means you are coming on exploratory visit for like 5 days. So the first thing we are to do is for you to come to Canada as a business visitor. So we get all the information needed for you, we process that for you, and you come to Canada. So once you are in Canada, so before we do that, you must have identified the business you are interested in. During the process of consultation, we've discussed, we send you the link for the franchise to the franchise. Then once you select the one you're interested in, the next point is for us to see how you come to Canada as a business visitor or as a visitor. So once you are in Canada, the first process, you are in Canada as a visitor, you meet the business owner, we negotiate the business on your behalf, we come up with your visibility study, your business plan.
I don't know what's happening with my network. Honestly, it's crazy. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? If you can hear, please give me a thumbs up.
Okay, we can hear you now.
Okay, perfect.
We can hear you. So the first process is once you identify the franchise you want to commit your investment in, we help you come to Canada as a visitor. And once you're in Canada as a visitor, you negotiate the business. With all the details around the business will be negotiated. And once that is done, before you head back to Nigeria, so you need to set up your business name by registering your business in Canada, create an account. That is where, going back to your question now, how does the money come into Canada? So you've come in as a visitor, you've registered a business name in Canada, you now have a business account. So you now transfer that money from Nigeria into that business account in Canada.
Okay.
So that is the answer to that question. So now, once that money is sitting in your account, and we've negotiated the business, everything is as expected, you are happy with it. So the next thing is for us to put in your document for labor market impact assessment. So at this point in time, you are now committing almost 70% of that fund into the business. Before we can submit your document for labor impact market assessment, you need to have committed that fund. Commitment of at least 70% of that fund is available. Then you now submit your document for LMIA approval. So once you get the LMIA approval, the next phase is to apply for your work permit. So you apply for your work permit, and because it's a possible eligibility, and we put in the relevant document to show that you are a business investor in Canada, then your work permit should be approved. And as long as the work permit is approved, your family will also be coming with you.
Okay.
They will also be in the application alongside with you. So, and you are in Canada you will now be in Canada as a business owner under work permit.
Okay.
You are now in Canada as a business owner under work permit. So you start running the business, you create the job for Canadians or for PR people in Canada. Now, the next process is now to fight for your permanent residency.
Just before you start that, I want to quickly ask something, because this question might be on people's minds. Now, you said that you get your work permit, and then your family too would also get their visas that will make them eligible to stay in the country legally.
That's correct.
Now, are they going to be entitled to those things that permanent residents are entitled to? Things like healthcare, free healthcare, the kids can get their drugs free, all those things, free healthcare, and then can they go to public schools without paying as well? Or do the kids have to go to private schools? Or would they have to pay if they go to the public schools?
No, the kids will be going to normal public school like any other person.
Okay.
So they'll be going to public school. And also, there are some benefits that also accrue to them that they can also enjoy. As a spouse or as a family member of a work permit holder, you are also entitled to some of the benefits that is accrued to PR or a citizen. So the only thing you are not accrued to, they will not be getting the child benefit, just like a permanent resident or a Canadian.
Okay.
So, but every other thing, they have access to it as well.
Okay, perfect. There's a question just before you move to the next phase. I want to quickly just touch on some questions. So from Eleston E-Code says, can you employ someone from your home country?
As owner operator?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a different dimension entirely. If you want to if you're a business owner and want to employ somebody, you need to place an advert.
Can't hear you.
And
Okay. Continue.
okay, so if you want to employ somebody back from your home country as a business owner in Canada, one, you need to advertise that job. And when you advertise that job, you'll be getting labor market impact assessment for that person. And if you advertise that job for 6 to 8 weeks, and no Canadian or no permanent residents want to take up that job, then you cannot look elsewhere. So, but your main goal is to create job for Canadians or PR. Then if they cannot, if nobody in that category wants to take up that job, then can look outside of the country.
Mama, can you hear me? Oh my God, why is it hanging? It's so annoying. Oh my God. Can you hear me now, KSA? Can you hear me now?
So,
Can you hear me?
yeah, we can.
I was going to quickly chip in something to what you said. So, for example, if you say maybe you invest in like a maybe Tim Hortons, or let me put that, since that's like a very popular business here, franchise here.
Yeah.
So, for example, because I think I've seen this kind of things being done with the Chinese people. So for example, say you're Nigerian, you can now say maybe you live in an area where you have a lot of Nigerians. You have a lot of Nigerians live in that area. So for the job description, can you put something like, okay, maybe you need an IT person or whatever? Can you now say, let me just be specific, maybe the job opening can be maybe like computer engineer, fluent in French, fluent in Igbo, fluent in Yoruba. Can you do those kind of things? Like you can't. Like, can you put those kind of languages? You know why I'm asking? Because when I first moved here, I went for a job fair. And there was a particular job that I was very qualified for. They looked at my resume. Checked all the boxes. But the only thing that they said was, oh, I can't speak Mandarin. They wanted somebody who could speak Mandarin for the job. Yeah. So that's why I'm asking that, is it possible to put those kind of clauses there? Because you want to
Okay.
say for example, most of the people that come to that particular branch, they are maybe Nigerians who speak a certain language. Can you put those clauses there?
Because within Canada, you have a lot of people that speak Mandarin. That's why they put it in there. They are not actually looking at external.
I know they were looking for here. They were looking for here.
Outside, you have a lot of people that speak that in Canada. So that cannot be the basis. So that cannot be, language cannot be the basis of you looking outside when it comes to LMIA approved job. So language cannot be basis for you looking outside.
Okay.
So when it comes to LMIA approved job, yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now you are now in Canada under the work permit. So as soon as you're in Canada, you start running the business and everything looks good, everything is okay. We now initiate the process for permanent residence.
One more question from Oludolao. How many years work permit will you be given?
Oh, okay. Basically, it's subject to renewal. You'll be getting like 2 years work permit.
For starters, okay.
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
Now, but we on our own side, we can't wait till your work permit expires. We don't do that. We need to initiate your PR straight away. As soon as you're in Canada and start running the business, the next moment is for us to initiate your PR process. So once you initiate that process, that typically takes some months. So we wait on that. Then as soon as you get your approval, then here you go, you become a Canadian PR. So, and typically, if you are proactive, you can achieve everything within 1 year. If you are proactive, you can achieve all this within a year.
Okay.
So yes. So that is all about owners operator LMIA. So people that believe because I'm investing in Canada, I don't need to have English test, I don't need educational credentials access. No, you need those things. It's a must for you to have them. So hence, you can't hand the PR.
Okay.
So let's see if there is any question before I quickly touch on the province investment option.
No. No, 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 no,
Okay.
no. None.
So because we only have 15 minutes,
So we have to quickly
so
wrap
I'm
it
just
up.
going to quickly
Yeah.
run. Yes. So I'm just going to share what cut across the province nominee through investment. Most of
Someone,
this
sorry,
nomination.
someone says, what if you don't meet eligibility criteria?
Okay, that's a good question. Before we embark on the journey at all, we must have ensured we meet the eligibility criteria before we start anything. So our own check as a consultant is to see that our client will meet those requirements. If we don't meet those requirements, we are not starting anything. We are not going anywhere. And that's the purpose of consultation.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Can one write the IELTS in Canada? Yes, you can.
Of course, you can under the owners operator program. When you get to Canada, you can come and write your English test.
Yeah.
It is not a major requirement before you can come to Canada. But in the case of the province, you need to write your English test before you come at all.
Okay.
So, what cut across the province is that if you're a business investor in any of the, you are ready to invest in any of the province, it is a point-based system. Most entrepreneurship programs in the province are point-based system. That's number one. So it simply means you are competing with others because they usually have their quota for the year. So that's number one. Then number two, you need to have your educational credentials assessment ready for the province investment option. Then number three, you need to have the investment fund, and at the same time, you must meet the net worth requirements. You must meet the net worth requirements. So that's the difference between owners operator and the province. In the owners operator, you don't need the net worth. And another thing with the province is that your source of fund will be checked. Source of the funding is going to be checked. They have a dedicated partner. The government of the province have dedicated partners that check your source of fund. So, for example, KPMG is one of them. They use KPMG to do verification of your source of your fund. And also, to this province, some of them, you must have committed some time to start your business. So, commitment, as if you started your business back home, like for example, in Ontario, you should have 24 months experience as a business owner or as a senior executive management in the last 60 months before you can apply.
60 months.
60.
Wow.
60 months.
Okay.
So that simply means 2 years out of about 5 years. That's what they are saying. So you must have gotten your business experience ownership or a senior executive at that level at that point. And across the province, if you are investing in the major city, for example, let me use Manitoba as an example. If you are investing in Winnipeg, you should be ready to invest $250,000 minimum if you are investing in Winnipeg. And you must have a net worth of about $500,000 Canadian dollars.
Wow.
So, yes, but if you are investing in city outside of Winnipeg, for example, Brandon, Thompson, your investment requirement is $150,000 Canadian dollars. And still same net worth. You still need to have that net worth of $500,000 Canadian dollars. But the downside to province is this. You need to grow that business for between 0 months and 24 months. They track your progress in the business, in the growth of that business. So once they see that you are able to grow your business, then they will not give you a letter that will not allow you to apply for your permanent residency. As against owner operator, whereby as soon as you're in Canada, you qualify, you go into the express entry pool, you kickstart your PR process. But for the province, you must grow that business for certain time, and once they conduct a check, they see that you are profitable, everything is going on well, you employ people in the location you are in, then they will not give you a letter to apply for your permanent residency. So it simply means if you fail in your business, you can't become a permanent resident. So that across the province is like that across their program.
So your PR is dependent on the success of the business.
Exactly. For province, your PR is a function of success of your business. But for owners, operator, LMIA, it's not based on that.
Okay.
And no, put it like that.
Can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? You can't hear me. I'll end it. End it. Let's come back. I'm still going to share the full video here. I will make sure I put it here once, I record the screen of my phone, or I'll just get it shot. The whole interview between KSA and I, where he's talking about, Canadian immigration, the business investor route. So have no fear. I'm going to do that. Have no fear. Have no fear.